Welcome to Discover New Possibilities with the Samsung Galaxy S8 and S8 Plus. This webinar is tailored for Android application developers, and presentations that we'll be sharing with you includes multiple different developer opportunities for developers. Before we start, a few housekeeping items. So if you have any questions, please post them in the Q&A window. And this session is being recorded, and we'll be sharing it in our YouTube channel, as well as the presentation will be shared on Samsung Developer Resources section. After the webinar, we'll be having a quick survey. Your feedback would be valuable so that we would know what are the topics that you would like to learn from us moving forward and how to improve these sessions. So this presentation was put together by our team, Kavita Gopalan, Ashutosh Sharma, Gabby Rojas, and my name is Nikos Ladek. We are part of the Samsung Electronics America Content and Services. So how can we help you? We are a developer support team based in Mountain View, California, and we support Android projects. For example, if you want to integrate Samsung in-app purchase to your program, or Samsung S Pen, or maybe you're working on creating a watch face for Samsung Gear S3, or you are a designer and you are creating a watch face for Gear S2 and 3, or a theme for Galaxy phones. So those are some of the technologies we support. We also help you with any submission-related questions. Maybe your application gets rejected and you have questions, so you can approach us. We can also, if you have questions like shaders on Exynos, or you have some questions about Bluetooth profiles, we may not know the answers, but we will then contact the R&D and try to get the answer for you. You should, if you're not already registered to Samsung Developer Program, you should register. And there is at the moment a contest that every new registration can win a Galaxy S8. If you are already a member, don't worry, no need to register. You are automatically included. But if your friend is not, your friend developer is not, he could sign up and win a phone. So how to approach us? If you have any questions around these topics, you can see the URL on the slide. That's the best way to send us a ticket. We have a separate team that will support Samsung TVs, so we cannot provide support for Samsung TVs, or if you have a consumer and you have a question about your Samsung device. All right, let's get started. If you have, let's look at the upcoming webinars. So we have a couple of webinars coming up on 4/28, Gear VR and the Samsung VR single controller, and then DeX webinar on 5/11. Mistakenly, the slide says S8, but it says focus on Samsung desktop experience. And we have had a number of webinars in the first quarter of this year. So if you are doing themes, gear, watch faces, edge panels, so you see the URL on the slide, and we have some great training material already published on YouTube. All right, let's get started. So Galaxy S8, two models, S8 and S8 Plus. S8 is available in 5.8-inch Galaxy S8 and 6.2-inch Galaxy S8 Plus. Both devices having the infinity display and bezel-less design, forming a smooth, continuous surface without no buttons on harsh angles. As a developer, you will notice that the device has a super wide display with an aspect ratio of 18.5:9. We'll discuss later in this presentation how to optimize and test the application for that unique aspect ratio. Both models feature an industry-first 10-nanometer processor, providing speed and efficiency. It is also a gigabit LTE and gigabit Wi-Fi ready, with support for up to 1 gigabit per second, so user can download your apps and updates quickly. Camera. For social media apps, it's great to see that Galaxy S8 has a 8-megapixel autofocus camera with an aperture 1.7, enabling great pictures even in low light. Sensors. Both devices are built on Samsung Knox, a defense-grade security platform. In addition, S8 and S8 Plus will offer a wide range of biometric technologies, including fingerprint scanner and facial recognition, so users can select a secure biometric authentication method that works best for them, very quickly and convenient to unlock your device. Edge panel. Both devices support edge panels, which is different from Galaxy S7. So now both models have edge panels. Edge panels are kind of widgets that user can easily access with a flick of their thumb. Ash will later demonstrate how edge panels work on the device. There are approximately some 200 standalone edge panels with an addressable market of 45 million devices. There's a store where users can download edge panels. And in some cases, where partners have published a separate standalone edge panel, which has been deep linked to their main application, it can increase downloads 10 times of their main applications. We will cover edge panels later in this presentation. New ways to interact with your phone. On the left side of the phone, there is now a Bixby button, enabling users access conveniently Bixby services and navigate through services and apps with simple voice, touch, and text command. At launch, Samsung's voice function will integrate with the several Samsung native apps and features including camera, contacts, gallery, messages, settings, with the plan to expand its capabilities to include more Samsung and third-party apps in the near future. Themes. Themes, wallpapers, icons are a way for consumers to personalize their devices, an opportunity to monetize content for designers. Theme Store has seen 250 million annual visitors to the Theme Store, and there are more than 30 devices supporting Theme Store. Beyond phone experiences, there is a new Gear VR with controller powered by Oculus, and we will have a dedicated webinar scheduled for 4/28. Leveraging the processor power on Galaxy S8 for enhanced productivity, Samsung DeX is a unique solution that transfers your smartphone in a desktop by providing a secure desktop-like experience. The estimated addressable market is 30 million phones by end of 2017. If you want to learn more, we have a Samsung DeX webinar scheduled for 5/11. Lastly but not the least, user can leave their physical wallets behind with Samsung Pay, turning Galaxy S8 into a digital wallet, which they can use anywhere like they would use their credit and debit cards. With more than 870 banking partnerships, Samsung Pay has processed more than 400 million transactions. For developers, we're happy to announce that Samsung Pay will be supported in the Galaxy App Stores to purchase for games with Samsung in-app purchase, paid themes, or watch faces for Gear S3. This will be supported on device models which support Samsung Pay, i.e. Samsung Galaxy S6 or newer. Now let's look at some of the technologies in more detail.
So as Nicholas mentioned, we have a new Gear VR that comes with a controller. This will add additional immersion and will make games in VR more complete experience. So we're having a specific webinar for the Samsung Gear VR with a single controller. We recommend this webinar especially for game developers. We'll be covering the product overview, all the specifications for the VR and the controller. We have some here. It has a gyroscope, accelerometer, magnetic sensor. It comes with 3 color LED indicators in the controller. It requires a battery, AAA battery, and the battery life is pretty good. It's 40 days when you use an average of 2 hours per day. And we'll be covering all the specifics during the webinar. It's also a technical webinar, so we'll have an example of running some applications, some games in Unity. So save the day, April 28th, we'll have our VR experts talking about this.
Thanks, Gabby. My name is Ashutosh, and I'll be talking more about the unique aspect ratio. So, with the launch of the Galaxy S8 and S8 Plus device, we got rid of the physical home button and we introduced the infinity display, which has a unique aspect ratio of 18.5:9. So if your app supports the fixed aspect ratio or it's based on the fixed aspect ratio, you might want to update your app and support the unique aspect ratio of 18.5:9. For doing it, you can add a resizable activity tag to your application activities and make it resize according to the screen aspect ratio. There is also a way like you can add a maximum aspect ratio for 2.1 that is specifically for S8 and S8 Plus device. For more detail, you can refer to the links mentioned in the slide. And if you have specific concerns that are very specific to your application, you can always go ahead and join the Samsung Developer Program and submit as a ticket, and we can help you with your concerns of how to address the unique aspect ratio. So, and just for the demo, you'll see the screenshot just on the right side of the slides. If your app is not optimized for the unique aspect ratio, your app might shows or renders with the black bar on the top and the bottom of the screen. And it all depends on the type of the application, if it is a gaming application or video application. So depending on that, there might be black bars. Next, we'll be talking about now the Edge SDK, which is used for creating Edge application. So what is Edge application? Edge application is a unique experience, a widget that runs on a Samsung Edge device. It can be launched by a flick of thumb from the edge of a device, and it will launch special widgets that are installed on your device. It's more usable or intuitive and visual way of showing the widget. So let's walk you through a user experience on an actual device. Okay. So I'll now activate the screen. Okay. So you see the bar on the right side. Once you swipe it in, you will launch the Edge panel, and it's actually a scrollable. Once you swipe again, you will move on to the next panel. It's a list view, and each item can be linked with a web view, that's a browser, or even with a main application. Tapping on the gear icon will take you to the settings part of the Edge panel. Here you will see all the installed Edge panel of on your device. You can enable or disable it by clicking on the checkbox on the top. Once you check it, it will show up in the active list. Clicking on download will show you the list of applications that you can download, or you can even go ahead and search for an application. So I'll go and I'll look up for USA Today Edge panel app. So you see the second option from the top that says USA Today Edge. I'll tap on that to install it. Now, once the application is installed, I'll just activate it, and we will show you how it renders or how it will show up on the user device. So now I'll go and activate the USA Today Edge panel. I'll go back. So now I'll navigate back to the home screen, and from there I'll launch the Edge panel experience from scratch again. So now once I swipe between different Edge panels, I'll see the USA Today. Now it's active and showing up on the Edge panel list. It's just a list of news items. Now let's show you what else or how the deep link experience works with an Edge panel application. So you see the categories on the left side of the screenshot. When I change it, it changes the category, and then this is the swipe to refresh option. Once you pull down the list view, it refreshes the list item. Tapping on it will take you to the corresponding application that is deep linked with Edge panel. And once again, it can be deep linked with either the web browser or with the with the store or with the main application if it is already installed. So as I mentioned, the Edge SDK 1.4 that got released in like last week of March. It contains a couple of new features that got introduced with Android N, that is Android Nougat. Few of them are like use the pull to refresh interaction and long press. Unlike earlier, we only had the click event that actually limit the functionality that you can perform on an edge panel. But now we are introducing more and more set of events or features that you can use on the edge panel. So here I have demoed a quick code snippet of how to implement pull to refresh interaction. The next slide, I've shown you how to add the long click event. So once the user go and press for a longer duration on any of the items, we can perform a different event. So here are the code snippets for that. And if you need more details regarding the edge panel, like what is edge panel, how to implement it, and if you want to create your own edge panel or learn how to create edge panel, you can refer to the different links mentioned in here. The first one is the sample source code, where we have demoed the pull to refresh gesture as well as the long click event. The second link will explain you step by step with each and every code snippet, like how to implement it, the long press and pull to refresh thing. The third example will demo you the details about different type of edge application that you can create. And at last, the fourth option, you can go in there. It's an Edge webinar link where you can go and watch a 45 to 50 minutes long video where we have covered this Edge SDK and Edge application in detail, like the market opportunities we have, and how to create an Edge application and publish and promote. So everything is covered in detail in there. So now let's talk about the Samsung Theme Store. So Samsung Theme Store, it's specifically tailored for Samsung devices. It's available on from Galaxy S6 device onward, and there are more than 30 devices that supports Samsung Theme Store. And we recently we even upgraded the theme editor tool that you use for creating the Samsung theme, and we have even changed the look and feel of the theme store for the Samsung Theme Store. So with the latest theme editor, let's walk you through a little bit detail in about the Samsung Theme Editor. It's a secure tool, and you need to apply for the access in order to get access to the tool. There is no coding effort required at all for creating themes. You can download this tool. It's available for Windows and Mac. You can install it on your machine, and if you have the image resources, you can use those for creating themes. There are different kind of products that can be created, like wallpaper, themes, icons, and AOD using this tool. If you need more details regarding the theme editor tool or how to access and the market opportunity that we have, you can refer to the link that's mentioned at the bottom of the slide. Now let's walk you through the user experience of Theme Store on an S8 device. So let's turn on the device. Okay, so now I just long press on the home screen, and it'll give me the option wallpapers and theme at the bottom. Tapping on that will take me to the Theme Store. There are 4 different categories. The first one that goes by default is wallpaper. Then the second is themes. Third is icons. And the fourth option is AOD, which stands for always on display. Now these are a couple of AOD themes that are being promoted. Now moving on to the wallpaper. This is a product detail page of one of the wallpaper. And wallpaper is only the background on the lock and home screen, so that only contains one screenshot. Whereas themes, if I go on the product detail page of any of the themes, it will contain a couple of screenshots in it. So let's walk you through the various themes that are being promoted right now. Now let's tap on this option. Okay. Now you'll see that there are a couple of screenshots. So as I said, that themes is like the full customization of the entire Android UI. So these are the screenshot, and let's just install it. Okay, once it's installed, you will see the option of either to delete or apply it. So once it's installed, we'll apply the theme directly from here. Okay, now it takes like few seconds to apply the theme. Once the theme is applied, I'll show you how it looks like on the device. So, okay, now it's applied. Okay, so you can see that the background and the icons have been changed now. Now, let's go back to the theme store. Now the icons, this will only, using this option, you can only customize the app icons. You can set the background as a tray background, or you can even completely customize the icon. AOD option, it's drawn using the line concept. There are no filled colors in this AOD because it's always showing up even on the logged and deactivated screen or a turned off screen. So make sure that you're not using a lot of battery power and you're not burning a lot of pixel in there. So it's drawn using the line concept. So these are a couple of AOD themes that are already available. So let's go to the Angry Bird. Now let's see what we have here. Okay, so there can be two different modes. One is just the AOD, the first screen, and the second is with the clock and a little bit of notification like the missed call and the battery level. So those are the two screens. So that was all about the themes. So yep, that's it. Okay. Now over to Kavita.
Thank you, Ashutosh. So hello everyone, this is Kavita. I'm going to talk a little bit about Samsung DeX. So Samsung DeX provides desktop experience for users from the Samsung phone and the DeX station. So we can you can get a Samsung DeX station and simply connect your phone to the DeX station, and when you connect the DeX station to the monitor, it will automatically be converted to the DeX mode. So Samsung S8 and S8 Plus supports DeX connectivity right now, and we are planning to support the DeX compatibility in the upcoming flagship devices too. So estimated addressable market for these devices is 30 million by end of 2017. So Samsung DeX is a very powerful user experience. It gives a lot of powerful functionality to the users. Apps launched in DeX mode can take advantage of Android N's new multi-window feature. The whole DeX concept is built on Android Nougat. Apart from that, multiple instances of the same app can be opened simultaneously, and it can be resized dynamically. Apps in the DeX mode can be expanded to full screen immersive view. Once your Android application has a resizable property enabled, which is supported in the Android N, then users will be able to maximize your application to the full screen of the entire monitor's display. DeX compatible apps add powerful features like drag and drop between windows, copy paste between multiple applications, etc. So this gives user entirely a desktop experience. So you can redefine what your phone can do. So if you think of a use case, like if the user has to do any presentation, and if he has all the documents stored in the cloud, there is no need for him to take the laptop or a notepad at all. So just his phone can be converted into a desktop experience. He can just take the DeX station, plug in the Samsung S8 or S8 Plus, download the documents from the cloud, and you can do the presentation. It's very simple to make any Android application compatible in the Samsung DeX mode. Some of the requirements are it should support multi-density for XXX HDPI and MDPI, support mouse and trackpad interaction, so that when the user is able to use the mouse and the keyboard when the application is in the DeX mode. It should support Android Nuggets multi-window functionality. And the application should also handle the following runtime configurations, like resolution change between WQHD and Full HD, orientation change, screen layout change, screen size change, etc. Because these, when your application is switched between mobile phone mode to the DeX mode, so these runtime configurations should be handled. So once you are done making your Android application compatible with the Samsung DeX, then you can submit your application in the Galaxy App Store. As you can see at the right, we have a screenshot of where the Galaxy App Store recommends some of the applications that are DeX compatible. If you have any questions, you can always register at Samsung Developer Program and submit a ticket. We'll be happy to help you. And we have, if you have more questions, we have upcoming webinar, which is totally going to be focused for Samsung DeX. It is on May 11th. Please register for the webinar. All US-based registrants have a chance to win Samsung S8 and DeX station. So please go ahead and register for the Samsung DeX webinar coming on May 11th. Now let's see how the desktop experience looks. So I have already connected my phone in the DeX station, and this is the monitor. As you can see, my phone has been converted to the desktop experience. You can see the menu bar at the bottom. So this is the browser. As you can see, there is a maximize button, and it can be resized. It can be resized to any size the user needs. And I have also connected my mouse and the keyboard to the DeX station, so I can use keyboard and mouse to type in any information I need. As you can see, I'm trying to open the developer.samsung.com website on the browser, and I'm using my mouse scroll to scroll between the pages. So the all default applications that comes with the Samsung S8 and S8 Plus phones are automatically DeX compatible, as you would imagine. And also most of the partners like Microsoft and Adobe, etc., have all made their applications DeX compatible. As you can see, this is the Microsoft Word. User will be able to resize it to any size he needs, and he can also maximize it to the full screen. This is another example for Adobe Acrobat Reader. You can see the maximize button, maximize icon on the top right side corner of the window, and user will be able to use mouse wheel to scroll the pages. So this is a preloaded application that comes with the Samsung phone. It is the File Explorer. As you can see, user will be able to open multiple instances of the same application, and he can use copy paste option, and it can also be maximized to full screen, which I think is a really cool feature for any user, and it makes it helps the user to increase his productivity rather than trying to copy paste in a small phone screen. And yeah, so let's go to the next slide.
Thank you, Kavita. So we have seen a few of the technologies that are available not only for S8 but also other legacy devices. So I want to talk a little bit more about the stage that you already create an application, you have integrated our SDKs. Where should you go and promote your application or publish it? So we have our own channel. It's called Galaxy Apps. Galaxy Apps is our store. It's preloaded in all Samsung devices, and basically we are focusing on having a boutique experience. We have experts curating the content on a weekly basis, and it's just an additional channel for you to distribute and promote your application. We feature only applications that are differentiating from the regular versions out there. We want co-developed content, optimize the ones that are using our SDKs that can provide a beautiful experience taking advantage of the Edge panel or compatible with DeX. And we look a lot into the revenue. How are they performing? If your app is paid, if it has in-app purchases involved, if it's generating a lot of traffic. So those are the key metrics that we use in order to promote content. Galaxy Apps has 1.6 billion downloads in 2016, so we see a lot of users engage with the store. 202 million active users also in 2016, and we have it globally. It's in over 90 countries where you can actually get the content by items, by applications. So you can go global when you want to publish in Galaxy Apps. It's not only US, it can be everywhere in the world. So I want to give you a quick tour around Galaxy Apps in case you might not have seen it in your device. So basically this is from an S8. We go to Galaxy Apps and you land here what we call Staff Picks. Staff Picks is going to have the content that we are promoting. We have beautiful banners all over around from popular games, content selected by our editorial team, something trending like the workout trainer, different applications. We have access to the theme store. I already gave you an overview of the theme store, and more games, award-winning titles, all different kind of collection. As I mentioned, these updates every week. Right now for the Galaxy S8, well, we have a welcome to the Galaxy S8 and the must-have applications that have been co-developed or are specifically for Samsung devices. We have all our content sent ready for the users to go and get their devices all ready. We also have exclusive tab where you have essentials like another applications that are basic, and we also have apps for DeX. Kavita gave you an overview like, okay, you have your optimized application for DeX. Here is where you can go and find other applications that are already DeX optimized. So altogether, I mean, we have a lot of productivity applications there, as you can expect. In addition, well, we also have categories, as usual, access to the theme store, games, tools, entertainment, all the common categories that you can expect. And also we have our gear section. This is for all the wearables. So Gear S2, Gear S3, you can get watch faces, gear applications. It's also updating pretty often, and you can get beautiful content for your gear devices. And I just want to give you an example of how the purchase flow will be. So let's say I want to get this weather widget for my S8. So I accept the permissions that it uses, and it's going to ask for my iris scanner. I have it set up that instead of inputting the password, I need to scan for my iris scanner. You didn't see my eyes there for security reasons. It doesn't allow it to show it, but basically once it's identified, it goes through. It will show the payment pop-up. I have my credit card in there, and I can complete the purchase. Super secure, very easy to use. The iris scanner is working flawlessly. You just look into it, and that's it. It recognizes. You can also use fingerprints, and there's also, for some settings, you can also have face recognition. So that's basically the quick tour about Galaxy Apps. Just finished installing, and it's ready to go. So we can move to the next. And then, well, we have a merchandising calendar for Galaxy Apps. So the editorial team is constantly updating the content and looking into upcoming holidays or important dates throughout the year, for example, Mother's Day or Memorial Day. So if you have some content that you think is relevant to any of these dates or you would like to be considered for promotion, please contact us, submit a ticket, let us know about your content. We have specific criteria, but we can start having that conversation so the editorial team can evaluate your content and we can give you feedback. And something we are very excited about is Samsung Pay. Well, Samsung Pay is going to be now integrated in Galaxy app. It's coming very soon. So basically, I showed you the purchase flow. We saw I had like my credit card and PayPal. We're going to have an additional payment method that will be Samsung Pay. So basically, any user that has already a Samsung Pay credit card, they can just go and use the same credit card to purchase content from the store. Very easy as well to use. They just need to authenticate and confirm their purchase information, and it's all going through. So we are very excited about this new feature. We are expecting a lot of users to buy more content from the store now that Samsung Pay is going to be supported. So I think this is a great opportunity for developers to have a larger reach to all those consumers that have their credit card ready to go and buy content. And as Samsung Pay is going to be available, we are going to start having promotions in the store to promote themes and Galaxy apps. So users that go and buy content from the store, they might be able to redeem credit from Samsung Pay. Just some other ways that we're trying to promote the store, to promote Samsung Pay, to educate users how to use Samsung Pay and buy content from the store and take advantage of all the different promotions that we will be having. Now moving a little bit about testing. We get a lot of requests about, hey, I need to get an S8 or how do I get my hands on it? So we have something that is called a remote test lab. Not a lot of our developers are aware of it, but it's live, it's working, it's functional, that will give you access to real devices remotely, and you can go there and try your application. Basically, it's going to be available, the Galaxy S8, S8 Plus, additional devices like Gear S3, Tab S3, and Z4, they should be available pretty soon. We're expecting 1 or 2 weeks top. So this will allow you to go and test your application on these remote devices, even if you don't have an actual S8 with you. In addition, we offer a QA compatibility testing support. If you have an application and our QA team here in Mountain View can help you and run a quick compatibility test of your application on real S8 devices. If you want to take advantage of that service, please join the Samsung Developer Program, submit a ticket, and we can start working with you.
And once you have your application created and published in Galaxy App Store or Theme Store or Gear Store, we have badges available. So you to communicate in your channels that where the consumers can find the content. So these badges are available on our resources section. And secondly, if you are you're welcome to use Galaxy S8 and S8 Plus or Gear S3 pictures. Overlay the screenshots on top of these devices and highlight your content once you have verified it is available and optimized. So you can find Samsung device, high-resolution device images on Samsung Mobile Press website. We have a section where device pictures are available. So these two assets are great for you to promote your content in your channels. Next steps. Next steps is this presentation will be available in our resources section. If you are in the middle of creating content, you should remember to start the process of creating a seller profile and then applying for the commercial seller status. If you are selling content in the store, as said, we are available to support you. Any questions you have, you send a ticket to us. You need to be a member of the Samsung Developer Program. Registration is free. And as I mentioned earlier, we have a couple of good webinars, Gear VR, April 28th, May 11th, the DeX compatibility, and we have past webinars also available in our YouTube channel.
So
we have a couple of questions. One was specifically for edge panel. So basically, we were being asked, what is the purpose of edge panel? Why it's intended for? Is it quickly glanceable information? Why is the left side covered up as well? Is it not meant to behave like the notification pull down? So Ash, can you provide an answer?
So the first thing that's been asked is like, what is the purpose of the edge panel? So the purpose of the edge panel is to provide quick and glanceable info on a flick of a thumb. Right now there is, if you create a main application, user needs to go into the app screen or need to install a really huge application which is like 20 or 30 megs and then install it and then go into the app screen and launch the app. Whereas edge applications, those are like relatively very small in size, like 1 or 2 or max 3 to 4 MBs at max. And it can be launched on a flick of a thumb, so you don't have to go into the apps screen and launch the application. You can just, like for example, the ideal use case can be like any news channel application like CNN or USA Today that I just demoed. So it can be launched, you can view the news application, and if you want more detail, then depending on the way it's coded, you can either redirect them to the Galaxy Store to download the main app, or you can go to the browser. So that's the main purpose of creating the edge panel application. Regarding why the left side is covered up as well, it's just that in couple of cases, like for example in Yelp, we would need like more space where we can allow more tweaks in the content that are showing up in the edge panel. For example, like when I demoed you the edge panel app for the Yelp, there was different categories showing up on the right side, which says like foods or drinks or what kind of thing that you want to search about. So that provides like a more realistic where a user can go in and interact further with your edge application. But if your application requires only to show up on the left side and not to cover the entire screen, there are other type of edge applications that you can create, like edge single. So edge single doesn't cover the entire screen. That just shows up on the right side of the screen and acts exactly like a notification panel. So I think I have addressed pretty much all and every concern on this.
And I think I would thank you, Ash, and I would only add that there are roughly 200 edge panels at the moment in the store, and the addressable market is around 45 million devices. So I see that there's a good chance to be discovered and to get a lot of downloads. That may be another way of enter your ecosystem of service or whatever you are creating. Great. So last but not the least, we have a campaign ongoing for new members who are not Samsung Developer members. So if your friend is not member of this program, there's a chance to win a Galaxy S8. So you can see the URL on the screen, and basically he or she can register. If you're already a member of SDD program, you receive this newsletter from us. You are a member, and you will be included in the raffle as well. And last but not the least, we have Samsung Developer Conference, the annual conference coming in October 18th and 19th in San Francisco. And that's a great opportunity for us and for us to meet. So we look forward to seeing you there. All right.
Thank you
for joining this webinar.